On everyone, it's your boy Ben and JV from JBM Sports Media coming at you guys with our NFL Week 18 reactions. Yes, it's officially over. We have a lot to get into. The whole NFL playoff picture is officially set in stone. Real quick, JV, before we do get into it, how do you feel? The season is now officially over.
Is it not wild? I mean, I feel like a couple of months ago we were talking about how it was just starting up, and now it's over. The seating is officially official, if you will.
Yep.
We know where everybody's going to be. We know who's playing on what days. It was a great season. I think there was a couple of teams that were a little underwhelming, and then there was obviously a lot of teams that were overwhelming. And it was great football. So definitely excited about the playoffs that are going to be happening in the next week.
Yeah, there's a lot to get into. Let's get into the game that just finished maybe about 30 minutes ago. An exciting finish to Sunday Night Football, regular season Sunday Night Football. And yes, we are talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers outlasting the Baltimore Ravens. And I would dare say this game started off very slow, but towards the end, the second half was a classic. The second half was an absolute classic. I'll say that because it was back and
Absolutely.
forth, back and forth, back and forth affair. But the Steelers do win the AFC North. They are the AFC North champions, securing that fourth seed. They'll be facing the Houston Texans on Monday night, which we'll get into that a little bit later about Monday night, our thoughts on the Monday night playoff game. But
Yeah.
yeah, the Steelers do win. And the fact that they won, they got a little lucky. We'll just say it like that. But JV, get into the game. What do you think about this game and how it played out?
So I got to tell you this. I don't know if this is a hot take or if it's too soon because it's the tempest is flaring still and the game just ended. I think Jim Harbaugh's going to get fired. I personally I think right now the play calling through the first three quarters of this game was absolutely abysmal. I don't know if it was the OC. I don't know if it was Harbaugh. Maybe he had some of his that was his doing. But the
Mhm.
first three quarters of this game offensively, especially passing the ball, it was putrid. Lamar looked lost. The fourth quarter, he came alive. They scored 27 points between the Steelers and the Ravens just in the fourth quarter alone, 37 total in the second half. So there was a lot of scoring. But I don't know if you're with me on this, but I think that the Ravens really have to look at what's going on deeply. They ran the ball effectively. I think they had 138 yards on the ground in total rush yards. But the fact that they were just completely, it looked like they were just out of it when it came to passing the football, and the play calling just didn't look like it was favoring Lamar's skill set. And I think they really have to take a deep look at what they have to do a head coach. I think it may be time that they need a new head coach. And tip of the cap to the Steelers. Mike Tomlin has done a phenomenal job. This team won 10 games. Their offense wasn't great, but Aaron Rodgers had a really good season. 41 years old, wins 10 games, wins the AFC North, and what else could you ask for? 295 pass yards in the final game at home. It was really a great outing by Rodgers and that Steelers offense coming through at the end. But it came down to a missed field goal. I mean, that fourth quarter was absolutely intense. It was wild. Lamar, that was a great fourth quarter by Lamar, and the play calling got way better in the fourth quarter on the Ravens side. But I think due to the fact that the first three quarters were that bad, I think they may have to look at changing the coach there, bro. I really think they need a new fresh mindset there. I think this was it was too late for what they did, and it's unfortunate that they're not going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I see a lot of Ravens fans calling for it already on X. I know they missed by a field goal, but before they went on this run, even for playing for a playoff spot, they were already saying that maybe it's time with Harbaugh, time to part ways. I mean, they haven't really succeeded since he's won the Super Bowl. There hasn't been another Super Bowl appearance for them at all. And yes, Lamar's a two-time MVP. He came alive, like you said, in the fourth quarter. Phenomenal fourth quarter by him. Big throws, even on that 4th and 7 to Lively. That was an excellent catch and an excellent
Absolutely.
throw. He avoided the sack as well. There was guys literally coming after him. That was more so kind of vintage Lamar. But if we're talking about vintage, obviously, I got to tip my cap to the old man, Rodgers, man. This guy was slinging it out there. It gave me throwbacks like if he was in a Green Bay helmet. And, bro, I love seeing this. And I love seeing that he reached the 500K incentive of making it to the playoffs with the Steelers. Now they win the AFC North. They get DK Metcalf next week. We'll talk about playoff predictions later on this week, but it's coming, guys. It's coming. Hopefully, we'll have Mike back by then. Jeez, hope so. Um, I really do hope so. Regardless, I will say this. I was very impressed with Rodgers in that running game. I feel like Warren and Gainwell, I was talking to JB, I felt like Gainwell was such an underrated acquisition for the Steelers this past offseason. I think having a dynamic back duel like that right now is favoring them big time. Uh, Give it what it is as well. Fryermuth had some big catches down the stretch. Even
Mhm.
Adam Thielen. I mean, Adam Thielen is more so of like that veteran trying to go for one more run, getting with the guy like Rodgers who's trying to go for one more run. If the Steelers would have lost this game, obviously there would have been discussions about Tomlin's job and everything like that. Does he want to stay another year with Pittsburgh? Is this it for Rodgers? But it's not it for Rodgers yet. They're going to be hosting the Texans, meaning he's still going. Tomlin's still going for them. I just, if I could be honest, and we're going to talk about the game, but for the Steelers as well, you guys got to finally make it out of the first round. They have like this tendency of getting in, but not making it out of the first round. It's going to help. They're going to have DK back, but it's going to be like, yes, this felt like a playoff game, but if you guys don't win an actual playoff game, and we're going to give the breakdowns fully, like I said in the next video, but I felt like that would be a disappointment as well. They're a 10-7 team that got in, and yes, props to Rodgers, props to Tomlin, props to the offense. TJ Watt came back today. I actually got an interception, a little funny interception right there.
Yeah.
But regardless, I think they have to win a game in the playoffs to make it all worth it. I mean, I don't know what you think, but
Yeah, absolutely. It's in too many first round exits on the Tomlin the last several years, and not for nothing. If Aaron Rodgers is going to play the way he played tonight and really be able to air it out, that's going to be kind of dangerous as well. I mean, like I said, no DK Metcalf tonight, but guys like Calvin Austin stepped up. He was phenomenal. It's good to see. And then you have guys like Fryermuth that were making big plays, down the field there, in the fourth quarter as well, big catches. But Aaron Rodgers was throwing the football phenomenal. I mean, he knows when to throw it. He knows when to dial it up. And it's really refreshing to see that this guy is 41 years old and he's still playing quarterback at a pretty elite level. And I'm just going to say this. I hope Aaron Glenn was watching this football game tonight, since, he thinks he's so smart, and he thought it was better to have Justin Fields running his offense compared to a potential Hall of Famer who's probably a top 5 quarterback of all time. So I really hope Aaron Glenn was watching this game from afar and laughing as he was watching in his pajamas, because he made a great decision. He really did.
yeah, that's obviously one that a lot of Jets fans like yourself.
You can't catch my sarcasm.
Yeah, that's one that a lot of Jets fans, I mean, not even giving this guy the opportunity to come back. I mean, he wanted to. You could tell that he wanted to, but it just didn't happen. Like I said, it is what it is. More so that's the past, but great win by the Steelers. If we could talk about the ending of this game for a second. I mean, skip past the Tyler Loop one. We'll come back to that. Boswell, they wouldn't even have been in a position like where they were like low key shedding bricks. They wouldn't even have been in this position if Boswell didn't miss that extra point. Since when does he miss extra points? This guy's like automatic. This guy, I mean, bro, I was so shocked when he missed that. You would have thought it's scripted.
Yeah, you're thinking, okay, this is it. They capped off their final drive. They scored a touchdown. They're gonna go up 3. Everything was pointing in a good direction. Then all of a sudden, the air just gets sucked out of that building, and he misses the pat. And now you're like, oh my God, they're only up 2. All they have to do is, and the Ravens had 3 timeouts, which
Yep.
we have to talk about how big that was as well. All they have to do is drive down the field, get into range, and kick a field goal, which is what they did. Harbaugh called a timeout. There was 3 seconds left, and they just went wide right on a 44-yard field goal. And I'm sure Loop is looking into the stars right now. He's probably gazing into the sky, wondering, how did I miss this kick and literally blow the division? That's literally what happened. But
Yeah.
it happens. Football's a funny game. It's a game of inches, and if he's 3 more inches to the left, that ball goes through the uprights, and the Ravens are celebrating. But yeah, it's just not the case right now. So
yeah,
it's just it is what it is. And like I said, I'm going to say 3 bad quarters of bad play calling put them in a position to be in that space where they have to kick a game-winning field goal in a tough spot. And maybe if you were more aggressive with your play calling, maybe you wouldn't have been in that position. So that's why I said I think Harbaugh has to get a good look.
Yeah, because you could tell, like in the fourth quarter, Lamar was. I mean, he was shredding that Steelers
He was
defense. I mean,
cooking.
like
He
he
was
was
cooking.
cooking.
Where was it the whole first 3 quarters?
That's what I'm saying. It was like that crack toss that they faked it, and he found Ramsey was getting cooked. Yo, Ramsey was getting cooked all night. This guy.
Cooked. I mean, I don't know what he's playing. Was he playing safety? Was he playing cornerback? He was trying to swat balls that were already caught. Like his timing was off. He just looked completely lost. I think his better days are behind him. But I think if Harbaugh has a better offensive output in terms of play calling, I mean, they were running the ball all over them. Derrick Henry had 130 yards rushing. Give him the ball. There were certain times where he should have been running the ball. Then there's times where Lamar should have been, utilizing his legs and scrolling out of the pocket, and that just wasn't happening. And then all of a sudden, the fourth quarter, they had an epiphany and decided, let's try to go win this game.
Like, this is an MVP type of player.
This is an MVP type of player. Let's make some play calls that we know he can execute, which is what happened. I mean, Zay Flowers was literally
he came alive.
He was getting behind coverages with no safety help over the top. So I mean, I could have caught half those passes if I was out there. If you're not going to play a safety over the top, 9 times out of 10 you're going to throw a touchdown pass. So, kudos to them for staying in the game and literally being just a field goal away of winning it. And again, Lamar has an exit where he's not going to be competing in the playoffs.
And there was a report that came out earlier this year as well. I'm pretty sure Ravens fans, Steelers fans, a lot of like these long tenured coaches, even Bills fans, seen this report that came out where it was discussed that a report, I forgot who put it out there, but there was a reporter that put out a long tenured head coach is most likely to leave their team. I'm starting to think day by day that that's Harbaugh. I think it's going to be him. I think he's the long tenured coach. It was either him or Tomlin, but I can see more Harbaugh because I don't really think him and Lamar are clicking no more. I feel like that relationship is kind of soured a little bit. More so because, I mean, if you see the conservative play calling for those first 3 quarters that I feel like the Ravens were going with, it's kind of inexcusable. You have a 2-time MVP right there. And you've seen in that fourth quarter what he could do when you open up the playbook. So, like, come on, man. It's
yeah. I mean, at one point there was 3 minutes left in the third quarter. He was 4 of 9 for 58 yards. I mean, he's not some rookie quarterback that doesn't know. He doesn't know how to navigate an offense. This is a multiple time MVP winner who's been absolutely electric, and you're kind of not utilizing him correctly. And then when you do utilize him, they're not making the plays. So it's a double-edged sword where they're kind of just screwing themselves. And then all of a sudden, like I said, the Ravens have this epiphany where they open up the playbook a little bit and Lamar all of a sudden starts shining, and then their defense just couldn't stop Aaron Rodgers. I mean, when you have a 41-year-old throwing for 300 yards, that doesn't help either. So, like I said, the Ravens put themselves in a position where they let the Steelers come back and win this game. That's how I'm going to view this for the rest of this season. I could say that the Ravens literally shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I guess to wrap it up with this game, now Baltimore heading into the offseason, they really have to evaluate things. I don't think they'll evaluate it with Lamar because yes, I know Lamar has his flaws. He's not really delivered in the big moment. I mean, I think that's totally understandable for people that put out that perspective. Something's gonna have to give there, and I think whether
it could be coaching, it could be the coaching. Maybe it's the coaching that needs to get him over the top.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be some good coaches available. We saw that Raheem Morris got fired today. Well, I mean, we're not even gonna talk about that right now, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he's gonna get a DC job. I would like for him to get a DC job. I think he's a great defensive coordinator. It's kind of unfortunate how he got fired. Maybe he comes in the mix, takes a job. But I don't know. I'm not as confident, to be honest with you, as either the offensive coordinator or head coach of the Ravens returning next season. Not that confident.
Yeah, I could see that, and I'm with you. I'm not as confident either. I think tonight was a big story to look into. Like I said, that organization needs to take a deep dive into their coaching. I think the OC, like you said, may potentially need to go, or Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh, it's going to land on him. He's the head coach. I think he underutilized his best player. And then when he saw that Derrick Henry was having a great game as well, his second best player, they didn't really use him as much either. So I think they could have utilized their offensive play calling a lot better, especially in the first 3 quarters. And this could, like I said, this could be a different score. Maybe the Ravens are the team that wins the AFC North, but it's just not the way it is, and Aaron Rodgers is moving on.
Yep. You're absolutely right. All right, let's get into some more results. More so, another divisional title that was captured this Sunday, and it is the AFC South. The Jacksonville Jaguars win the AFC South, the second time in Trevor Lawrence's career as a Jag. And I think, obviously, it just caps off an excellent season from this team. An absolutely beautiful season. Liam Cohen, who, if I had to pick, it's either him or McDonald for Coach of the Year, in my opinion, the guy from the Seahawks. One of those two. I would actually give my vote. Actually, I don't know. I don't know who I'd give my vote to. I take that back. I think I would have to that's a toss-up. But looking at the Jags, looking at Trevor Lawrence again today, I know Cam Ward got hurt. It's good that the tight end just shut him down after he got hurt. Don't want to risk anything like that. But Trevor Lawrence, another day, 3 touchdowns I think he had today. He broke Blake Bortles' record for touchdowns in Jags history, quarterback-wise. What a season for this guy. I mean, if he would have started off strong, we could be talking about the potential MVP. I mean, any thoughts on the Jags? Obviously, they're locked up with the 3 seed now. Any thoughts about the Jags?
No, I mean, listen, they not only do they play really sound defense, but the fact that they didn't run the ball very well today is telling, because it just allowed Lawrence to play his game and take over and single-handedly put this team in a position to win. So that's actually very good to see when it comes to the balance of this team. You're not going to have a well-balanced game every game where you're passing for 250 plus and you're rushing for 130 plus. It's just not going to happen every Sunday or every Monday. But the fact that the matter is that Travis Etienne, I think he had 33 yards on the ground. I think they had 65 yards total rushing on 20 plus carries, which is not a great output. But when your quarterback is efficient through the air and he could win you a game through the air and make plays himself, that's really promising to see. So it's nice to see Trevor Lawrence making those strides where he could take over a game and win a game. So I think the Bills are going to have a tough time next week. I know we're not doing, playoff predictions yet, but, I think they're going to have a tough time. I think the Jags are not going to be a team to be looked over. I don't think you should take them lightly. I think they come and play smash mouth football. And like you said, they're very well coached as well. This is a team that I think lacked it wasn't necessarily an experienced head coach. I think they just needed a head coach that is disciplined, and Duvall is disciplined. And not for nothing, it's it's good to see Lawrence coming into his own, honestly.
Yeah. Cohen, I feel like what he's done with his Jags culture, even if you see the way that Trevor Lawrence talks about him, obviously Trevor Lawrence is more so of a calm, composed guy, but he's been more fiery this year. He's been more, I would have to say this is the best we've seen Trevor Lawrence in his whole career. And this is a guy that obviously he's had his ups and downs. He had his injury concern, obviously. The concussion last year took him out, but even then, that was a bad year for them. Even the fact that Travis Hunter right now is not even playing for them, and it's kind of crazy to even think about. Obviously he's out for the year. That was their first round pick. This team right now is just, I feel like that is the dark horse team in all of the playoffs. I feel like Etienne and the other running back that they have, Tuden, I believe it was, if they get going, bro, and they're just a well-oiled machine in the playoffs and they just keep it going, Brian Thomas Jr., the most underrated pickup in the trade deadline, Jacoby Myers, if they just get it going, bro, Brenton Strange as well, this is a team I guess making a run. I mean,
and they're scary. Like I said, they didn't run the ball well today. Like Etienne was 14 for 33 on the ground. That's very underwhelming. It's not good.
Yeah, it's
whatsoever. But if Trevor Lawrence is going to play the way he played, it's very positive to see that he could win a football game on his own. And you got to give a shout out to Cohen. Cohen has this offense just looking sharp, even when the run game, like I said, is not sharp. At least they know, okay, Trevor can go out and ball out and take some pressure off the run game. But when you get to the playoffs, you do need your run game and your pass game to kind of be top notch. So to take the pressure off the offense. So it's gonna be fun to see how this team performs next week against the Bills. But like I said, I don't think the Bills should take them lightly. I think Cohen's going to have this team ready to go, and we'll see what happens next week. But shout out to the Jags; they definitely deserved to win the South.
Yeah, What a year they had. Let's talk about, obviously, we already know the one seed got secured yesterday in the NFC. The one seed in the AFC is officially secured, and the playoffs in the AFC are going to be going through Empower Field in Denver. The Broncos secure the one seed, defeating the Chargers today. We all knew it was going to happen. Once we saw Trey Lance and most of, come on, I mean, it's, yeah. Yeah, we knew it. We knew it. But shout out to the Broncos. Who would have thought the number one seed for a team like this? Bo Nix' second year. Look at what Bo Nix and Drake May are both doing in the AFC.
Yep.
It's crazy, man. But what do you think about this? The Broncos have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, locking that number one seed.
I mean, their defense is just elite. I mean, and also it's so tough playing in Denver. I mean, forget about the altitude or this or that. It's just a tough place to play in general. Their fans really come out and make it tough for the opposition. But I got to give Bo Nix credit. There's a lot of people that hate on Bo Nix and they say he's a game manager. He's this, he's that. Listen, I get it. He's had some underwhelming games, but it's his second year in the league. We got to give him a little bit of slack. It's not like he's 8 or 9 years in where he should be performing at a certain level. He's going to go through, trials and tribulations, early on in his career, and he's basically trying to make it work. But when he makes it work, he's very, very good. There's been games where he throws for 275 plus and 3 scores, and he could win a game by himself. But if he's not going to turn the ball over and he could manage the game that way, make big plays when he has to, he could utilize his legs as well. But he's got enough weapons on the offensive side of the ball where he could get the passing game going as well. And if that is what happens, you better watch out for this Broncos team because they could run the football. They obviously got RJ Harvey over there, as well as Cortland Sutton. Their defense is going to make stops and give their offense the ball. And if they get a 10 or 13 point lead, it's a wrap. It's not very many teams that could come back and beat this Broncos team if the Broncos have a 2-score lead. So
yeah,
it could get ugly quick for someone in the AFC going up against this Broncos squad, especially at home. So kudos to them and Sean Payton, phenomenal season. Great play
for Sean Payton.
Great play calling, puts all of his players in a position where they're going to succeed. So I give him a lot of credit.
Yeah, I just actually finished a few days ago watching the Elway documentary on Netflix and seeing how Denver is so rowdy and how they really rally on each other. Like when the football season is full max and they're in the playoffs and they get home field, it makes me think this team just went 14-3. They got the one seed. The playoffs are going through Denver. And they haven't really been in a situation since 2015 or when did Peyton win the Super Bowl? Yeah, I think it was 2015 when they had the one seed and the playoffs went through Denver, where they're going to be this rocking, rowdy. I mean, this is going to be an atmosphere. It's going to be so tough to play in. I could only imagine. If I'm Bo Nix, I'll even shoot a call to Elway. Just get some advice. Get some advice from this guy, obviously. He's former GM as well of the Broncos. Just get some advice. See, I'm pretty sure they all want the Broncos to succeed. And I feel like as long as he plays, for example, I'll give you a good example right here. A few weeks ago when he played against the Packers, when Micah got hurt, and he diced himself for 303 touchdowns, no turnovers. If he plays like that, nobody's beating this team in the playoffs. Nobody's beating this team in the playoffs. If he throws for 3 touchdowns and maybe 300 or 280 passing yards,
it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
At that point, we're looking at a blowout. Probably by the third quarter, we'll say, "Oh my God, this game! You could change the channel. Game's over." So
change the channel. Game's over.
If that happens, their defense is not going to give up a lot. I think they're going to be sturdy throughout this whole postseason. And honestly, I'm not trying to go too far, but I wouldn't be surprised if they represented the AFC in the Super Bowl.
I absolutely agree with you. All right, let's keep it going. Real quick, yes, like we said, that whole playoff bracket and the days and everything like that is officially set. So we'll go into the days after we look at the bracket real quick. We're not going to give you guys predictions at the moment. But yes, going into Super Bowl 60, man, look at this bracket right here, JB. Is there any matchup right now, I'll ask you, that immediately stands out to you like, yo, there might be an upset? I mean, we're not going to say who exactly right now, but basically tell everybody watching this, watch your eyes on this game specifically.
All right, so I think personally, if you want to go, I'll go with each conference. So I'll start with the AFC.
Perfect.
I can see the Steelers beating the Texans. Listen, I know the Texans have had a phenomenal year. CJ Stroud's been very good. That Texans defense has been fantastic. I mean, talk about ferocious defense. They are a ferocious defense, and they can get a stop as good as anybody. So I personally think that the Steelers, now that they get DK back, that's a huge piece to add on the offensive side of the ball. If the Steelers can run the ball the way they ran the ball tonight and put up 100+ yards, I think they'll be in good shape. Their defense is a bend not break type of defense. They're not overly scary, but they can get a couple of stops and really keep the Steelers in it and give the offense a chance to win. So I could see an upset where the Steelers beat the Texans. And on the NFC side, I can actually see the San Francisco 49ers beating the Eagles. And just to quickly go over why, I think if they stop Saquon, I'm going to let Jalen Hurts try to beat me with his arm. If Jalen Hurts is going to turn the ball over, let's say he has 2 interceptions, I think that's going to be a sticky situation for the Eagles. If they're going to turn the ball over and allow the Niners to gain extra possessions, that game could be pretty close. And if the 49ers can run the football effectively with CMC and hopefully Purdy, I could see the Eagles really trying to blitz the hell out of him and really make his life a living hell.
Mm-hmm.
But if Purdy could somehow manage the game and not turn the ball over and make key passes, I could see that game being close, and I could see the Niners squeezing that out. So I'm going to say the Steelers edge it out over the Texans, and the Niners beat the Eagles.
All right. Anything, obviously, it's in our official predictions. I'll say that right now. It's in our official predictions. We have more days to completely think about everything. But if I had to pick one on the AFC, I would say, is a must-watch game. Watch out. Anything could happen. I think it's a lot of people because the Bills are currently favored against the Jags. I would have to say watch out on that game right there. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised on how well Jacksonville handles Buffalo's offense. I really do feel like
I agree.
The Jags are a team to just continue to look at, guys. Very much so dark horse vibes. And on the NFC side, I don't want to be biased. I really don't want to be biased. But I do believe, just because of the rivalry aspect and everything like that, how the last game ended between us, Packers-Bears at Soldier Field. I'm not saying we're going to win. I'm not saying we're not going to win. But I do believe that this is going to be a game that is going to be super close. A few mistakes are going to decide this game. Might be a few mistakes in the fourth quarter. Who knows? I mean, that shot is in the foot last time. So I do believe that's a game where a lot of people are going to be looking at 2 seed, 7 seed. We did it to the Cowboys a few years ago. Who knows? I'm just saying.
I can see that game ending in a field goal, a last-second field goal, something close like that. But I would not be surprised if Green Bay squeaked out a victory and beat the Bears in Soldier Field. It wouldn't be surprising to me at all. It's Caleb Williams' first playoff game. He could be a little bit jittery, a little bit nervous. Maybe things get a little overwhelming for him, and the Packers maybe make a couple of plays early that kind of puts Chicago in a tough spot. So that, to me, I know a lot of people are going to take it as a hot take. I don't. I think Jordan Love and that offense could really ramp it up when they have to. And if their defense can make a couple of stops, I think Green Bay is going to be in that game all the way till the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Real quick, look at how many rookies from the draft class last year are in it. Caleb, Drake May, Bo Nix. I mean, that's crazy. Even the draft class before that. CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. I mean, it's good
to see. It's good to see that these guys are finally coming into their own. Yeah,
it's especially
for the Panthers. I think they're probably like 2 or 3 years, ahead of themselves. I think we might have thought this team would be really good, maybe in like 2027, 2028. Right. But the fact that they came out in 2025 and 26 and they played this well, and I know they snuck in due to technicality, but at least they were in it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
So kudos to them that they got this game against the Rams. It's definitely a tough test, but shout out to that organization.
Shout out to the Panthers for sure. Shout out to the Panthers. It's gonna be one and done for sure. I'll give you guys a spoiler alert right now. It's you know what? That's one we might not even have to save for the.
I'm trying to show a little positivity, and Brew goes, no, it's a one and done. I agree with you 100%. I think they can put up 40 points, but the Rams, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a 40 to. A high-scoring affair, but
you know what? And earlier today on NFL on Fox, Gronkowski and Strahan and all of these guys, Terry Bradshaw, they were trying to hype up this game, and you could see that they were struggling to trying to hype up this matchup. Like, oh, the Panthers, once you're in the dance, you're in the dance. Cut it out.
Yeah, it's true, but let's call a spade a spade.
Let's call it what it is.
The Rams are not losing twice to the Panthers this year, so exactly. it's not happening.
All right. let's look at the days that this is going to be going on. Wild card weekend is official. Saturday we're starting off. Hey, we were just talking about it. Panthers Rams. 3:30 my time, 4:30 JV's time on Fox. Hey, if you guys want to skip this one out, that's perfectly fine. If you guys just want to wait,
just wait for the 8 p.m. game with when the Bears and the Packers link up
on Prime Video. By the way, guys, isn't that something?
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yo, I mean, how much?
It's the way of the world now.
Hey, realistically speaking, how much do you think they pay for a game like that?
Oh, first of all, they paid so much money knowing they're gonna make so much money back. Yeah. So it didn't even matter. Bezos was like, just let me know what I got to fill out the check, and I'll send it over to the NFL, and let's just get this going because I'm going to make 4 times the amount that I'm paying anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So everything's a money everything's a money grab. It's just a money grab. But they got Saturday games, they got Monday games now. It's crazy.
And so that's going to be on Sunday night on Prime Video. I mean, they picked a hell of a game, a rivalry game, Packers Bears. That's going to be a good one. Sunday night. 12 o'clock my time, 1 o'clock JV's time. They have Jags Bills. This is going to be a great way to start off your Sunday, in my opinion. Straight banger right off the bat. And then they go to Eagles Niners, another banger right off the bat.
Yep.
And then unfortunately, if you guys want to not watch, if you guys are too busy watching football.
But this is my thing. Shouldn't the Eagles and Niners or the Bills and Jags be the night game like that? Like I'm just confused about how that works. And why is Pittsburgh and the Texans taking the 8 o'clock slot on Monday? You could have swapped maybe
Carolina, maybe?
No, because that to me is a primetime game. It's Monday night. It's not. You could have even had the Bills and Jags on Monday night if you wanted to do that.
That's understandable.
You could have had the Niners and the Eagles on Monday night. I don't see where, how the viewership is going to be better for a Monday night game of Texans and Pittsburgh better than the Niners and the Eagles. I just don't see how that's gonna be a thing. They got it right with the Packers. I do want to watch the Packers and the Bears
Saturday
8 o'clock on a Saturday night. That's a great slot for them. I just don't see how the rest of the slots are beneficial. But I mean, the NFL's a billionaire business. They know better than me. So whatever.
And we were talking about it before. Even having like a Monday night game, like I don't know, man. It's just like, couldn't you just put the other one at 12 o'clock on? Like, couldn't you just maybe even squeeze this to prime time on Saturday? Maybe like
that's what I'm saying. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like they dropped the ball in that regard. I don't see how the Patriots and the Chargers are a better game than the Jags and the Bills. I think that should be the night game. It should be switched. But again, who am I?
Yeah, I mean, these are the games. And like I said, Sunday we're starting off back to back with 2 bangers. I'm not saying Chargers and Pats isn't going to be a banger.
No, I'm not. Yeah. But listen, Drake May is a potential MVP candidate. I'm not saying there's a bunch of jobbers running around both organizations. Justin Herbert's a very good quarterback. Lad McConkey's been a great offensive weapon for Herbert. So there's a lot of playmakers in this game. It just could be a very more technical game where it's more defense and maybe it's a little bit low scoring because both teams are that's just how it could go. But I just think the Bills and the Jags should have been in that 8 o'clock spot.
Yeah, fair enough. I think even if, like I said, I get why there's a game on Monday. It's a money grab. Like at the end of the day,
it is
fine. I mean, we get it. I'm very excited for all these games. Maybe Panthers Rams. I mean, I'll watch. But regardless, we're gonna keep it going to finally finish out the video. We have officially known, and it's set in stone right now, at least the first 18 slots of the draft order. JV, this is your moment right here, my guy. 2026 NFL draft order, which will be in Pittsburgh. The spots 19 through 32 will be decided after the playoffs, but it's official. The Raiders actually secured the number 1 pick. But guess what? The Jets did move up 1 slot because the Giants decided to job today and win again.
Yeah. What a
2 to 5.
I know it's I listen. I know that they're not really in a situation to have to draft a quarterback. So it's whatever the case is. I understand, but now they dropped 3 slots. It's not like they went from 2 to 3. They go from 2 to 5. So that I know they're still in the top 5. In the first round, that's great. But it does affect who they're going to get now because the Jets moving up from 3 to 2. It basically is a shoo-in for either Dante Moore or Mendoza at this point. It just basically depends on what Vegas does. So I'm happy for the Jets. I mean, this is the most positive thing that's happened to them in a while, but they've been in this position before where they messed it up. Obviously drafting Sam Darnold, and now he's thriving in Seattle. He thrived in Minnesota. And obviously with Zach Wilson, they drafted Zach Wilson. That was obviously a huge mistake. And Zach Wilson's holding the clipboard now for Miami. So the Jets get another crack at it. Hopefully they could get it right this time. That's all I can hope for, really.
And it looks like Aaron Glenn's job is actually safe. I was seeing on NFL on Fox. But it is. They said his job is safe. They're going to give him another year, basically. What do you think about that? Another year of Glenn's health.
Listen, I understand why they're giving him a second year, because you kind of want to see him fix his mistakes and see if he could rectify his mistakes. I particularly don't think it's a good idea. I think he should be fired. I think they should go with a whole new regime. I think Darren Moogie needs to fire him and really go get a veteran head coach, but it's not going to happen. So we'll see what happens in year 2. Maybe if they get the guys that they want, and we'll see if that could fix things. But
check this out real quick.
I don't think that's going to work.
You guys, due to the Colts completely jobbing in the second half, you guys actually have the 16th pick too, which is actually a plus. Look at that. Number 2 and 16. Wow, that's you look back at that Sauce Gardner trade. What a fleece job that was looking like.
And not for nothing, I hope they could maybe with the 16th pick they can go get some a top of the line defender. They need to get that. Totally they need to get that defense fixed. They need cornerbacks. They need linebackers. They need some edge rushers. Vance McDonald was really good for us this year. But they definitely need more guys to get after the quarterback, and they definitely need guys that can tackle. They definitely need linebackers that with speed, so hopefully they can address some defense at 16.
At number 9, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wild,
that's nuts, right?
Who would have ever thought? No playoffs and 9th in the draft order. Those are two things I would have never guessed would have came out of our mouths for
Joe Burrow,
the Kansas City Chiefs.
Joe Burrow and Mahomes right there. Look at 9 and 10. Look at those two right there, right?
Crazy, absolutely crazy.
Crazy. What an incredible, unexpected year it's been right now in the NFL. Like I said, showing you guys this NFL playoff bracket. We are not yet done. We still have a lot to go. We are super excited. Our NFL playoff predictions, I say, will be coming out either Thursday night or Friday night. It really depends, but one of those two. Like I said, Mike should be joining us for that one. If he doesn't, I mean, JV, you might have to make the call, man.
Listen, he's working really hard. Unfortunately, he's been getting jammed up at work. So
he's been getting jammed up, guys. He's very hard worker.
He's still living in the Van Dam by the river. It's been confirmed. He's okay.
He's okay. Everything's good. He will be back. He'll be back.
He'll be back. We just don't know when, but he'll be back.
He'll be back. And like I said, let us know your guys' thoughts on Week 18, the reactions that has everything to do with it. JB, do you want to wrap up with any final thoughts more so now that the football season, regular season-wise, is over? It's done.
It was a great year. It was a fantastic season. I can't wait to get this playoff started. And it's underway. This Saturday it's going to start, and we'll see what goes on. Thank you for the support, obviously, and it's been a great year.
It's been a great year, like always. Make sure that you guys subscribe here on YouTube. Follow on TikTok and IG, JBM Sports Media. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.